Okay, guys, so this is video one to a vlog of me doing a small business and trying to grow it in 2025. Some of the things that I'm going to go over today in today's video is going to be, I'm going to say 10 things I wish I knew um, before I started my small business. Things that I kind of wish that I would have been able to figure out or know. Some of the things that I'm happy that I did know before starting my small business, and some of the changes that has happened since starting my business. Okay. So let's start with number one. Number one that I wish that I knew was the difference in websites out there and what was going to work best for me, and that I had researched more websites other than just Shopify. Don't get me wrong, Shopify's great and Etsy's great, and I am on Etsy. And I didn't mind Shopify, but I didn't feel like I could edit my website the way that I wanted it to and make it as cutesy and to my brand as I wanted to. So I went with Wix, but it is more expensive. So there is that. Number two kind of coincides with number one. So number two is going to be finding a domain that's not super expensive and knowing how to connect the domain to my storefront. Connecting it to Shopify was super easy, but switching it from Shopify to Wix, I am struggling hardcore with that. And I'm still trying to figure that out. I've gotten it to work, but it only works like 50% of the time. And it's so frustrating. So get yourself a website, do all the research out there. There are so many different websites that you can choose from that you just need to kind of research maybe here on YouTube and figure out what's going to work best for you and whatever business it is that you're doing. Okay. And then you want to find a domain that is for you. Okay. Number three, licensed products. Now, you would think that this would be something that is known and should be known, but you would also be surprised how many creators will make tumblers and sweatshirts and t-shirts and things like that from their home using sublimation DTF or even out of vinyl and not even second guess it or think about it and don't think that their little business can get caught. I, unfortunately, didn't really think about it because I was like, how are they going to know that I'm printing it? The problem is they're not going to know that your print isn't them knowing if you're going to print it. The problem is them knowing if it's up on your website. If somebody buys it and is posting and tagging you in it, they can find out that way, and you can lose your business this way because you can be sued. So just make sure that you are being very cautious about these things because you don't want to be printing things that are like Disney, NFL, any licensed things like that, guys. So be super careful. I was offering this when I was just doing a cups like for family and friends and off of Facebook and stuff. But now that I'm starting an actual business and not just doing for family and friends, I'm no longer offering this to anybody. I will not be doing any licensed products whatsoever. So that means that my designs will not be that. I will not be purchasing designs and putting them on cups, sweaters, shirts, anything like that. I will not be putting them on those kind of things. So just make sure that you are being creative and either coming up with your own designs and or getting on Etsy and finding somebody that has designs that aren't licensed designs. Okay. Number four, one of the things that I wish that I would have kind of looked into more was so every business has branding, right? So you want your own branding, your own colors and things like that. But when you're doing your shipping and you are trying to find your cute little boxes and your wrapping paper and stuff, you don't have to go all out at first. Okay. I thought that all my stuff needed to be super cute and I needed to have most expensive things and get things off like Sticker Mule and order all the poly mailers from Amazon that matched with my logo on it and everything. Guys, make it simple. Don't overthink it and don't make it too expensive and over priced for you when you're very first starting out, okay? Because it's not something that you should be doing when you're starting a business because you want to make sure that you are concentrating more on the product versus your shipping. Granted, you want your shipping to be cute and you want it to look cute, but you can get things from the dollar store still that are super cute. You can get free things from UPS and USPS that you can ship out your things still and not have to worry about it. So just make sure that when you are like looking at your polymailers or your boxes, tissue paper, things like that, you can make stickers from home if you have a Cricut machine with laminate and stuff. So all these little tips and tricks, I will kind of show you guys how to do things when you're starting out as a small business on a budget. Okay. So that is going to be another video of mine for another time. But right now, just know that when you are doing your shipping, please don't go and think that you have to have the best of the best. Okay. Number 5 is I wish that I would have known using Venmo, even Square, PayPal, Cash App, those kind of things, right, guys? Facebook Pay. If you have a customer, okay, that you make a sweater for, let's say, or a tumbler, and you invoice them, or you even just tell them, okay, because, when we're very small, we're starting out. And so we'll tell somebody, okay, my tumbler is $25, and they'll just Facebook message you or they'll Venmo you, right? Okay. I did that in the very beginning, and then I switched over to Square, and I was invoicing through Square because of this reason, okay? So with Venmo, I did a service for somebody, and they disputed said service. Even though they got the service, they disputed it, and so Venmo, of course, took the money from me, which made me negative in my account, and then I couldn't even use my Venmo account. And that was a hot disaster and mess. So they got it, and I was out the money, and I was negative, and I didn't get to use my Venmo account. So be careful there. So then I used Square, thinking if I used Square invoicing that was going to save me, it was going to be a little bit safer, and that I would be okay. That's not the case either. I also had somebody that ordered a product from me, disputed it with their bank, said they didn't know what the charge was when they did know. Okay, so what Square did was they pulled the money from me that I had deposited into my bank. When doing that, what happened was they ended up taking the money out of my bank account and making me negative again. So again, I didn't get the money and they got the product. So when I switched over to Wix, that was one of the things that I liked is they had invoicing and it's protected. And so I haven't had the issue of them going on my website, because now I don't even invoice them, guys. I make them go straight to my website, pick out whatever it is that they want, order it through my website. And if they live next to me, then I let them get local shipping so they don't have to pay for shipping. And then they pick it up on my front porch outside. In my drawers that I have outside. So in this case, they're going to a website, they're checking it out, and they're doing it. So I haven't had any issues with that yet. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it stays that way. So keep that in mind when you are picking what you're going to use as far as collecting your payment for your business. Okay. Okay. Number 6 is going to be knowing your business cost, okay? You need to find something that is going to help you keep all of your business stuff separate from your personal stuff, okay? And I'm talking about expenses and income, okay? So what I mean by this is, let's say you're buying a box of tumblers. And you get an invoice from wherever you buy your tumblers, wherever that might be. You're going to want to keep that invoice in your email. And then I also keep it in Dropbox. Okay. And then you're going to want to find something like Excel or something to keep track of all of this in and add it all up. But you need to keep track of all of your expenses and know what you're using. So for me, I use HP services for my printer. So I need to keep that as an expense. I use my phone. So that's part of an expense. I use, anything that you are using for your business, make sure that you know that is a business expense and that you are keeping track of that, and that you understand that when tax time comes around, you have all of your expenses and you have your income. That way you can take it to your accountant, which I highly recommend getting an accountant, and go to them, bring them all of that information, have it all set and ready for them so that they can see everything you've spent for the year, everything that you've gotten back. And it just makes that much more easier and simpler on you and your accountant. And then you know where your business stands and you'll know if you're profiting or not profiting for that year. So just make sure that you are keeping in touch with an accountant and paying attention to that. Get a separate bank account for your business only and keep your business income set aside from your personal income. Number 7, one of the things that I wish I knew as a tumbler person is where to get them from. So I get mine from stainlesssteel.com. It's the Hogs tumblers. You can get those in a bulk and it is going to be costing you less. So as a small business owner, you need to do your research and find where it is that you can buy the most product in bulk to make it less expensive. However, I know that starting out, you can't always do that. So here's where number 8 comes into play, okay? Is I wish that I knew for my businesses starting out, I could use things like Afterpay. They're the pay in 4 apps out there. There is Zip, there is Sizzle, and there is Affirm. There's plenty more, I'm sure, but those are the main 4 that I use for my business. They are pay in 4s, okay? So if I pick out, let's say, a case of tumblers from Stainless Steel Depot, and it's $99, it will split it into 4 payments. And that day I just have to pay the one payment of the 4, and then in 2 weeks I pay another payment, and so on and so forth. So just know that trying to find little shortcuts like that to help you when you are growing does really help, because I don't normally have, especially when I'm starting out and I've had no orders at all, $100 laying around to go buy tumblers or sweatshirts or t-shirts or whatever it is that you do for your business. So just know your paying for apps help you there. So pick something out, do your research, find your bulk, and use a paying for app so that you're not paying everything out of pocket right up at once. Unless you can. If you can, absolutely go for it. But that definitely did help me. Number 9, we've kind of already touched up a little bit on shipping, but we were talking more like packaging. So we are going to talk about shipping. Please know that there are 2 different shipping apps out there. So you don't have to go to your USPS shop or to FedEx or to UPS to ship out your packages, okay? That gets really annoying and it's overwhelming for somebody, especially if you're getting more than 1 or 2 orders in. Once you get going, you need to find somewhere that you know how much your shipping is going to be for something so that you can either put it in the cost of the product to offer free shipping, and or you can add it on to the product and let them know that's how much their shipping will be. Okay, so the 2 that I know that I have seen is Shipbo and Pirate Ship. I like both of them, but I have found that Shipbo has the better pricing than Pirate Ship, but a lot of times I will try both of them to see which one I can get the cheaper shipping on. With Etsy, if you're with Etsy, they also have shipping, and I believe Wix also does too, but I just use my own shipping. It makes it a lot easier, and I just use Shipbo or Pirate Ship. I have the shipping labels that I was saying earlier that you can get with packaging from USPS or from the USP, because I use USP or I use USPS normally to ship my stuff. I hardly ever use FedEx. I don't care for FedEx. I don't like the way they handle their stuff sometimes. So I have also noticed that out of using Shipbo and Pirate Ship, those are the 2 they tend to use, and they get you the best prices. So that's where I get them, and I just get on their websites and I will request their shipping labels and stuff that they ship their things in. And a lot of times you can get these for free and they can get shipped straight to you. So what I do is I'll order those shipping labels. I put them into my printer and I can just print out my shipping print labels. Oh my goodness. Anyways, guys, so that is something that you just need to know moving forward, is just to find a good shipping app that you can use that's going to be great for you and your business, okay? Now, if you're shipping huge boxes, you're probably going to have to go to the post office or USPS USPS or to FedEx or wherever it is that you like to use. Just because with these, you do have to have a scale to measure them. I just purchased one off of Amazon. I know if you do stamps.com, you can get their scale also when you become a member, which I also had done. But the one that I got off of Amazon, I don't have to have plugged in, but the one on Stamps, you do. So you can even make your own stamps off of stamps.com, but I didn't love it, so I didn't stay a member there. So those are some tips and tricks on shipping out your packaging. Just a way to know what you can use for shipping as your orders start to come in, okay? Number 10, and my final one for all of this, is to know that be patient with yourself. Know that it takes time to grow. Know that once you get everything going and you maybe have a launch day, or you do a soft launch, that it's not going to all blow up all at once. And maybe it does for you. And I really hope it does. That's amazing. But if it doesn't, just remember to be patient and that it's okay. It takes time to build and it takes time to get your name out there and to get your website out there and to get things going. Okay. Start small, work big. I have started with vinyl and then I moved up to sublimation and now I use DTF. So, and I still use all three ways of doing things. And those are things that in this YouTube channel I will go over and what I feel is best and why I use all three still and what is the best for me, and kind of go over like the pros and the cons to each one. But just keep in mind that when you are starting out, it is not going to happen overnight. Be patient with yourself, keep showing up, and know that one day you will be successful as long as you keep showing up every day and continue to put in the work and showing out, okay? Keep in mind that, like I said, I do Etsy and I also have my own website. If you want to make sure that you can pay for like Google ads and things like that if you choose to. I do not, but you absolutely can. Facebook has ads. Instagram has ads. I post on Facebook, I post on Instagram. So I just try to get my name out there. It is word of mouth. When you're doing your packaging, make sure your name is all over in that packaging so that they know. You never know, they might be giving it as a gift too. Okay, so those are my 10 things that I just wanted to get out there of things I wish I knew when starting my small business, which I mean, I've started it and now I'm hoping to grow over 2025. So come along with me in this vlog and watch me do the tips and tricks and my business just get going. And I pray that yours does too. Have a wonderful day and thanks for coming by.